Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded and Unfiltered, the podcast in which I, your host, Jermaine, interviews another content creator in regards to the journey thus far. This is the second week I've had another guest on. I'm starting to roll that train back up. So if you've missed guests on the podcast, they are coming back in full force. Before I get our guest on for the evening, I'm going to read their bio and give you a little information about them before we have this conversation. My guest tonight is a podcaster, content creator, streamer, overall lover of everything nerd culture. He's very passionate about creating a space for everyone to feel included in a nerd community and wants to show everyone how amazing that community can be. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest for the evening, AfrofishOG. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am excellent. I am full of energy, and I'm excited to get this conversation started.
No, me too. Yeah, you got more energy than I do right now.
But well, hopefully it'll spill out, and you'll be like, "Oh, all right, this dude's like caffeine. He's waking me up."
I just let the ADHD run, and eventually we'll
exactly right. Well, let's start this like we start every episode. What do you do in the creative landscape, and most importantly, how did you get started?
So I'll start with the first thing. Like, what do? I am a gaming content creator first and foremost. I love video games. I love everything nerd culture. I love anime, comics, superheroes, all that kind of stuff. And the space itself is huge. It is huge. It is for everybody. And my goal is to be able to bring that kind of positivity to light. I focus more into the gaming space just because gaming is like obviously the biggest passion that I have. So I make sure that I do what I can, the best I can, using as much positivity as possible, because I believe that there's a lot of negativity through the gaming space, and I believe bringing a positivity can offset that and just make it a better space for everybody involved. Mm. And to say how I got started, it was about 4 years ago when I was just doing some random videos and stuff on TikTok because I just happened to, start pulling it up, started doing stuff. And eventually I was like, well, I can start, I'll make some gaming stuff. And I saw a bunch of people online who were making gaming stuff. So I just slowly worked with it. To be honest, I was bored. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. I was bored.
Hell yeah.
And it just sounded like fun, and it wanted to bring that out there. So I started making, whether it was just on the phone and then from the phone to the computer, getting some different kind of like recording and editing software. And then I just started making videos. And, after a while, I was like, well, I'm not seeing people talk about stuff. So eventually I started doing TikTok lives where I would just bring certain prompts up. And I've been doing that for 2 years. So it was almost new prompts almost every single day, every other day. Yes, it was over and over. And now after a while, I was like, well, I want to run my own podcast. I want to see what makes our community amazing. Let's talk about this. And so what I do is that I do very similar to this. I bring people in, and I want to show them what makes the gaming space great, what makes nerd culture great. And it's been very successful. Husky was my 50th episode on there.
Okay.
So I've probably granted, maybe like 45 to 46 people I've done total. I've had a couple that are turning guests.
Right.
But it's been fun. It's been a really fun time. I've met, it's funny because the people that I put myself way down below, and I'm watching the people up above talking about what it takes to be that way. Right. And now I'm the one talking to them. Yeah. I'm the one in that circle as well.
Exactly.
And it feels great. It feels like an accomplishment. Actually, one of the most awesome things I had was, I don't know if you ever played Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
But the voice actor for Jeff the Shark has jumped into my lives. Yes, my lives a couple times. Yes. Yeah. It's only been like once or twice, but it was kind of cool just sitting there and chit-chatting for a little bit, because it passes through. I used to do these every single day. Like I did these every single day. I've kind of backed off on it now a little bit because it's draining.
For sure. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think right now I'm on a 64-week run, at least one live a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually it's about 2 lives a week.
Yo, that's impressive. Like, I don't think people understand how much energy it takes to go live, and to be consistent with it is a whole different story. So congrats on that, man.
Thank you. Consistency is key.
Yes.
Oh, man. But I'll say consistency is key, but consistency is hard.
Yeah.
Especially, there's a lot of people out there who have families and all that, and it becomes difficult. I know myself. I have a son on the way, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, damn, how am I gonna get? I'm not losing this streak. Like,
Right.
I love my son. I love my 64-week streak.
Hey, trust me, as a parent, you will figure it out. It's doable. On the outside, it looks daunting. But speaking of streaks, this podcast, I started it almost 3 years ago. And I think we're like 100 and I don't know, a bunch. But I haven't missed a week yet. Like vacations, soccer practice, whatever it may be. Like I get an episode up a week. You'll find your rhythm and you'll figure out the things that you need to do to get an episode out or get a live stream out, and you'll lock into it. So it's good that you're thinking about it now, though, because a lot of people, they're like, I'm just going to continue to do what I do. And then that kid comes and you're like, oh, whoa, I'm not sleeping anymore. What's happening? So you'll be fine.
My wife and I have talked about how we're going to continue this, which I love because she's incredibly supportive. Yeah. And that's what really drives it, because of the fact that we're like, all right, when our kids, she's like, well, what days do you need? So when I can take certain days and all that, cause I told her, like, right now, she a pharmacist, right? She just got her first job as a pharmacist. I'm so happy for her after all that. And so it's nice to be able to have someone who can be like, hey, I'll take this off these certain days, or take the heat off you so you can go and do your thing.
That's dope. That goes a long way. And I think, shout out to my wife, that is the reason why anything that I get done happens, because I have somebody in my back corner and it's like, hey, did you put that thing up yet? Like celebrating me when I do it. That shit feels good. Shout out to the spouses out there who allow us to do what we want to do creatively. That goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into section 2 of the episode. And it's my favorite. It's current mindset. From what you've said already, it sounds like you're on top of that. But let's go ahead and get the deeper information. What's your current mindset in regards to the content you're making right now? And an extra question I would ask is, where do you see yourself in like 3 to 6 months as far as your content?
I like both those questions. So the first one is, when it comes to mindset, it's to make sure, how I said in 2026, is I want people to be sick of my face and to be annoyed with my voice.
Yes.
I still hold true to that. I try to get at least 2 videos out a day. I do that through my own podcast. It's a little easier, to get them out and stuff. But it's nice because I want people to stay consistent. And this is how I stay consistent. I want you to see it. If I have a schedule set up, like today was stream, I think tomorrow is live. And there's days where I might pop in and do extra stuff. Like if I have an extra time, or before my wife comes back, sure, I will do a live for a couple hours and we can discuss stuff. It's the mindset is to make sure that you are always present.
Yes.
Just like your job, just like your responsibilities. Whether you're doing this as a hobby or you trying to make a career out of it, always show up, because that's half the battle. That's half the battle right there. There's a lot of days where I just sit there and I'm like, I don't even want to do this. I don't know if you've done this, where I'm like, all right, I go and I sit down and I stare at my screen and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. Like, what? I want to go home.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I want to go watch TV, or I want to go outside. I want to go do something else, but I know that I have the responsibility, and you just gotta do it. Like, that's the thing. Like exercise, like everything else. Otherwise, you're going to keep saying, I should have done it this day. I should have done it this day. And I should have done it this day. For the second question that you mentioned, what I see myself in 3 to 6, man, I'm opening up. This kind of goes in separate sections. When it comes to just my videos that I make, I want them to be better quality. True. I like the quality that I'm at, but I know they can be better. And so I had an interview with another dude who's just a big content creator who talks about creating content. And so I asked him, hey, can you look through my stuff and see what I'm doing? Because if I'm not pulling the numbers, I need help to see where I'm making the mistakes on, And so I'm hoping that gets better. When it comes to the podcast, my goal in 3 to 6 months, I'm hoping to be interviewing like more than just a couple devs and streamers here and there. Like I want writers, I want, celebrities, I want all of it. My goal is to make this big. I joked about like, I want to make this like one of the biggest gaming podcasts ever. And it's because I get to show people what makes it amazing, what makes our community great. 3 to 6 months, my goal is to get my first like celebrity on there.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've messaged a bunch of people, and you know what? I've always said, like, as long as you try, you're not at zero.
Exactly. I think when I first started the podcast, like reaching out to people, was hesitant to do so. Don't know why. Cause like if someone reached out to me and was like, hey, we want you to do an episode of the show, I'd be geeked. I'd be like, yeah, all right, where do I sign up? And that's how I go into asking other people. Like they're probably going to be excited that somebody's asking them to showcase their talents on an episode. And if they say no, that's cool. Like no hard feelings. You got a busy schedule. You just don't want to do it. That makes sense. And once I reconciled all of that in my head, then it made the process of asking people to be on a lot easier. So yeah, keep pushing. I can't like, it's going to happen. You're going to have your first celebrity on. I'm like, he called it. He said he was going to do it. And there it is.
Well, yeah. And that's what makes it really, also one thing that makes it really fun is it was the same way. I was nervous because I was nervous of getting the no. That's what I was nervous really with, is getting no. And I got to the mindset where I was like, if like I ask them and they're like, no, why would I fucking do that? Then you're an asshole. Why would I want to be, excuse me if I can swear, but like, yeah, it's like, you're like, why would I want to be around you then? Like, I was like, okay, cool. Thanks. And then bye.
Exactly.
Like, and so I'm thinking there and I'm like, dude, this is, I'm just going to ask people, see what I get, and I think that's the greatest part too, is just being able to go and be like, I asked people like a voice actor like Ben Starr.
Okay.
It's through TikTok. So who knows? His probably sitting somewhere in his messages just buried, but it's whatever. Like I honestly, I know that Megan Thee Stallion's a huge anime fan. Why not? Like, why not? She's a huge anime fan. One of them I know who's a big sports or a big gaming fan.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray. We know Kyler Murray's a big gamer.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, I've been planning on asking him. I've just been lazy. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just go and you ask, and if you don't get anything back, you just kind of, okay, it is what it is, But if you don't ask and you let that fear sit with you, then you're just gonna sit there and always just wonder.
Yes.
I got tired of wondering.
Yes. I think the wondering is the worst part. Like you have an idea, you want to execute on it, and you just sit on it 3 to 6 months. That eats at you. If you get a quick no or yes, then it's over. Then you move on to the next thing. So yeah, shout out for you for realizing that early, because I know a few people who have amazing projects they want to get off the ground, but it takes them reaching out to people to make it start. And unfortunately, they're still at the starting line. They haven't started that process yet, but all in due time. Like get used to those no's. I forgot who told me this when I first started my coaching business. They were like, you should chase the no's. Like try to get 10 no's today. And at first I was like, huh? I don't know. Well, when you do that, you get used to no's. And when them yeses show up, you're like, oh shit. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, this is great. So no doesn't mean that you're a failure. No doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Might just not be the right time for them, or they're not your community. And it's easier to figure that out by asking. So get on that if you're not. It was dope. So we've had some sprinkled in there. And this is why I leave this section towards the end, because as we get towards it, there's so many things that you said that I'm already listening. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay. I'm learning things on the fly, but let's call it out. What is a lesson that you've learned because you started creating content?
Success is patience. Like, because it's something that you have to see. You're not typically going to get that viral bit. I had a bit where I was just doing a reaction to a Naruto dub, and it boosted me from like less than 1,000 to on TikTok to over 3, which was cool.
Hell yeah.
It had over 1 million views on it. I was like, this is awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't matter because
Right.
like the people didn't show up for the rest of my stuff.
Right.
And so I kept on, that's why I did the lives and I kept on going with it. But success is patience. Success is understanding that like you're not going to get this right away. Success is also knowing that someone else's success is not yours, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, I was talking with someone and they mentioned that like there's going to be like this 16-year-old who's just doing a stupid dance and they're going to be making way more than you. And that's fine. But you can also learn from them if you do. Like you have every chance to learn, every chance is a chance to improve. And that's what the one thing I had to sit back and I was like, man, if this don't happen within a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to happen. But if all of a sudden I get, this sucks and I'm done, then I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've tossed away 2 years.
Right.
On nothing. And, I use my wife for an example. She went to, when she went to pharmacy school, it was 3 years of pharmacy school, which they put 4 years and 3 years.
God damn.
And yeah. And so, there was constant something over and over and over. And I look at that and I'm like, if she can do that in those kind of time periods, like that was patience. She had to be able, she put in the time, all that stuff. It's my time to do that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And when you succeed, whatever that success is, because obviously success means different from everybody else. I've already hit one portion of my success, and that's meeting some of the most amazing people in the world.
Mm-hmm. True. Hell yeah.
And so that's part of my success. Obviously, I always say financially, sure. Who wouldn't want to do it and make like that's obvious.
Exactly.
But mine is also building a community that people can be proud of. They want to be there. When my lives show up, and there's people who have been in my lives since early on, and they still show up.
That's awesome.
Every single time they can. And that makes you feel good. That makes you feel like what you're saying matters, what you're doing matters. And that gives me the motive to keep pushing, to know that next success is right around the corner. It might just take another one of those consistent people, another consistent person, and next thing you know, you have 5, you have 10, you have 15, you have 50. I mean, a lot of those people that, you get people like, let's say, big ones like Emiru, Kaisenet, all that stuff, they get consistent people coming back. And that's what you really want. But to build that, you need to build that relationship with them. That takes time. But when you get it, that's success to me.
Exactly. That, and it brings joy to my heart to hear other people saying the things that you're saying, because like you mentioned earlier, when I was early in the gaming space, it just felt like it was all negative. At that time, I didn't think I was the type of person to step out and be like, you know what? No, I'm going to go this positive route, because like, why not? There's no reason for me not to. But to hear that you're building that community, to hear that you are like, you know what? I want to bring a more positive spin the gaming space, that is huge. That gives me hope for future generations. Or like, we're not going to just be this toxic, like, because we're not, like my wife outside looking in, she's like, feels very toxic. And I was like, that's because that's what gets pushed to the top. Like, that's what it's loud. But there's so many positive people out there doing amazing things in the gaming space. And I salute you for reaching out and highlighting those different aspects of the gaming space, because it's needed.
Yeah. I mean, the gaming space can be absolutely amazing. And I could, spend most of my time running, why is the gaming, obviously why does gaming suck? Why are there no good games anymore? And I've made videos on that saying that I stopped talking about it. I don't care. I made a video talking about saying that I feel bad for anti-woke people.
Right?
And I was like, I did, because someone put it in your head that like someone that looks like me is in a lead role, and now instantly it's worse. No, I'm like, I don't feel bad for your actions, but I do feel bad that someone made you feel that way.
Exactly.
And so I got to the point where I was like, there are some things I'll talk about, like they'll be a little more negative. I talked one time by saying something like, I don't like extraction shooters. Right? I'm not a big fan of it. Like the new Marathon game came out. I think it's a good game, just not for me.
Right.
I don't like KOTOR. That was one that got
Republic.
Yes.
I kind of there with you.
I think it's a really interesting story. I think the story is amazing.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to play it during the time it came out. And I'm like, this game, I'm like, here we go back to play it.
Don't do that.
Some games are better off in your head.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's one of them. That's fun. I did get to play it when it first came out, and then my Xbox died. And so there was like a gap of like a year where I didn't touch it. And that was long enough. I went back to it and I was like, I don't know if I can get into this. I don't care how good I hear good things about the story. I hear it has some twist in it, but that gameplay, they just need to remake it. Just remake it so I can play it. I would at that point.
I'm the same way.
Well, Afro, thank you for doing this episode of the Uploaded and Unfiltered. I knew it was going to be a dope conversation just by, like, I don't want to say sneaking around here, but that sounds weird. I went to your profile, I looked at everything, I was like, okay, all right, this dude is legit. And then hearing that we know some of the same people, that always goes a long way. Where can the people find your content? What's your socials? You got anything coming up in the next couple of weeks that you want to talk about?
Yeah. So socials wise, you can catch me on pretty much almost all of them. Obviously, the big ones are going to be Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. All of the same name. I don't switch names out if I can. I do have a Discord that I bring up. I call it the AfrofishOG. And that one, me and a friend of mine are working on. We're trying to build it up even more. It's been very, very fun. You can also find me on like Instagram and stuff like that too. And for like just the clips that I usually have. Mm-hmm. And same with Facebook. But in terms of things that I'm also working on, so I'm working on mainly just one, improving the content. Two, I'm working on my own podcast. Do you mind if I put that out there?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. The podcast is called Afro in the Know. And usually I do interviews with people, but we'll be branching into more discussing on gaming news, anime news, like fun, hot takes, lives, question and answering. We're going to be trying to branch out a lot more this year.
Nice.
I do lives on TikTok where I will put prompts up and we will discuss stuff. Sometimes it is structured. Sometimes they're a little off the rails. I'm very transparent with myself and I'm very transparent with my audience of like what I'm feeling, what I'm about, what my beliefs are. Mm-hmm. So you don't get some like version of me that is not authentic.
Right. Hell yeah. That goes a long way, especially when you're trying to find a content creator that relates to some of the things that you think about. Being transparent is huge. And I wish more people would not be afraid to do that. I think there's a hesitation to be yourself online because cringe or you don't want to get dragged or whatever the thought process may be. But I'm telling you, when you get on the other side, you start attracting people that actually rock with you and think like you. It's massive.
Well, I think it's because we have a society that's kind of built on that. They're kind of built on not giving a chance to be your authentic self, and especially gaming, the nerdy space, it's art. Mm-hmm. It is art. And art is all about expression. And so when you are in a system that has you not allowed to express who you are authentically, it does make it refreshing for others to see people who are, and hopefully that gives them a chance to branch out and to show them who you are and allow them to be their best selves as well.
For sure. No, I like that. This, again, everything you're saying, amplify that message. I can't wait to other people to hear it. It excites me to hear that these little pocket of groups are spinning up because, again, when I first, I'm not even going to name the website that I frequent a lot in my college years, but they had a little group of people and it was like, there were some cool people and then there was some super toxic people and nobody ever checked the toxic people. And that always bothered me, including myself. I was one of those dudes. I didn't say anything, but now moving forward, I'm like, if you say something out of line or you say something that's just plain wrong, I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm going to say something that you're aware that, hey, maybe you didn't know that what you said was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say, I do know, then it's all right. We separate ways. I don't fuck with you. I just move on.
Oh,
and
that's
keep it
so
pushing.
true. That is so true. Like it is, and that's something that's just with age too, is like being able to have and hold firm on your boundaries and beliefs, and if someone, that's why I have my space, I have people come in and I got people who are, whether they are obviously other people of color, whether they are LGBT, whatever, those people deserve to be respected just as much. And if
Right.
you come in and you're like, well, I don't like the fact that they shoved a gay character in my face.
It's like,
I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be like, then excuse my language, you can fucking leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not going to have you in here. Like, I had a person. Do you mind if I tell the story real quick?
No, you go ahead, man.
Okay. I had a person in a live come in and was like, "Oh, thank goodness, people we can talk about stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah," and I do that every day,
right?
And the more he talked, the more he was just mad at women. Because women ruined my space when it was in World of Warcraft, and we can't talk about the fact that the damage that they can cause. And I'm like, yo, like right now, and I had a prompt up just saying that like women, I believe 110% women make the gaming space better.
Yeah,
like I love women in the gaming space. I love women in nerds, all spaces. Okay, and I was like, let's just keep it a buck. And he just went off, and eventually, like, I didn't get a chance to do it, but my mod ended up just dropping him. And I was like, bro, like I'm sorry, like you have a lot of internal issues you need to deal with. When you're done with that, come back to me and I will open up a space to talk. But right now, I'm like, you are not in the space for that. And right now, I don't feel, when it comes to the, the other women in my space, they're not safe around.
Right. Exactly. That's wild. It's crazy how comfortable people get with that misogynistic view. And you know what? Little tangent. When I used to work in corporate America, it was wild how misogynistic like the bosses were and the people around, and people were just like, this is the way the world worked. And I'm like, ew, what are we doing? Like, I am not excited, but I take the responsibility of calling people out on things, like, again, not in a mean way, but I take it seriously because as a father, there's so many tropes of dads don't take care of the kids. Or I remember I took both my daughters to the dentist, and like everybody's staring at me like, what are you doing here? Where's the mom at? I'm like, no, I take my kids to the dentist. I take my kids to their hair appointments. Like, that's what happens if you are a parent that is all about co-parenting. Like, you do some things, I do some things, and there's nothing that my kids would want that I would not do for them. So, like, to see the weird dads on it, like, oh, he's at home by himself with the kids, it's gonna be a disaster. I'm like, no, we're chilling. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad. My wife's like, I could be a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, you didn't put us into $200,000 for you to stay your ass home. And daycare is expensive. Like,
it is. I refuse, bro. There's no way I'm sending my kids to some strangers, like, den of kid. Nah, I got it.
No, that's the thing. Like, my wife's sisters would be willing to babysit pretty much every single time they could. And so, like,
take advantage of it when you can, when you need a date night and whatnot.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm going to be going to PAX West this year.
Nice. Okay.
So that's my goal is to go to PAX West this year, and so so I'll be out there as well. And
have you been to any cons yet?
Gaming like specific gaming cons like PAX? No. Anime cons? Yes. I've been where I live up in Wisconsin. So like Anime Milwaukee was one that I've been to. They did have an Anime 414, it was called. It was just started. It was pretty cool. There was one called Colossal Con that pops up in the Wisconsin Dells every year. That one is pretty fun, and it's close by to where I live, so it's just like, or relatively close by, so it's like an hour and a half. But yeah, I love going to them. I have so much fun going to them. I usually sit in the video game rooms a lot. I am always working because I'm trying to get obviously promote myself a little bit. I do that a little bit,
for sure.
And so I did have a bit where I had this was even before I really started this. And I just wrote down on a piece of paper and I folded it up and I said, why does Sakura suck? And so people would look and they'd walk past, but eventually people would start to sit down and they would explain to me why they think the character is. And I'm like, do you think the character is true? From Naruto. Yeah. And they're like, do you think the character is truly bad? Or do you think that she should have just been given more to do? And it was more of like the mind chain to being like, instead of just saying this character just sucks, let's see like why this character wasn't written well. Like let's dig in deeper, because I think when it comes to gamers, a lot of gamers struggle with articulation of why they don't like something. And I'm big on saying why you don't have to like it. I think that's totally fine. But you should be able to articulate why you don't like something. And, 100%. It's the equivalent of doing a math problem and showing your work,
Right?
And
yes.
so,
oh my God.
And so I'm like, why don't you like it? Like, oh, it's just mid.
Like, what does that mean?
The fuck does mid? Yeah, what does mid mean? You have to tell me what mid means.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, I just didn't like it. That's fine. And I'm sitting there and people would start, I wouldn't get it all the time, but people would get defensive at times too. Like, we're like, well, I don't know why you keep going. I'm like, because I'm trying to get you to open your mind. Like, I'm trying to get you to do something that your parents have made you have failed to do. And let's get you to critically think.
Like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. They can't have a conversation if all you said is mid. I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Like, there's the 3 things that I will not tolerate in my lives: mid, woke, trash.
Perfect.
I don't. If you say it's woke, I'm gonna call you and be like, what does woke mean? What is the definition of woke? And why are you using a wrong term? If you call it mid, I'm gonna ask you just to explain what that means. If it's trash, I'm gonna be like, hey, is this game really bad, or is it just something that you don't like?
That's fire.
I try to keep it that way as much as possible. Of course, it varies.
Yeah.
And there are days where I can't fully determine. Like, I'll say, Marathon. Have you played the new Marathon game?
Did play it.
What'd you think of it?
As someone who not enjoys extraction, Arc Raiders, I enjoy the loop. I haven't gone back and played it. Marathon, for me, it might be because I don't want to spend any time learning the different systems as that game has. It felt like a lot. Like, I enjoyed the shooting because Bungie they do great at making a shooter, but what was the story? Why was I doing this? It was starting to come together, but I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this one's for me.
That's fair. That's how I felt with it. Was like, I can see there's a lot of positives to this game. I love the art style. Was really cool.
It looks great.
The lore and stuff like that is kind of interesting. At least from what I could pick in, I'm like, there's a lot of intrigue here.
Yes.
That's what I should do. Not lore, but intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not great when it comes to extraction shooters. It's one of the reasons why I, as much as I love Overwatch, I struggle to get into it again because of the fact that it's so much to deal with to get into the game that by this time now, I'm like, bro, I've been out for a while. I don't want to go figure out. They're dropping brand new characters. I don't want to go back to find brand new metas again.
I'm good. I'll watch.
Yeah, I'll play casually, or I'll have a friend of mine hey, let's go and you help me figure out what I'm doing. I play support, so my job is very simple: to keep all your asses alive.
Exactly.
I don't like playing nothing but support no more. It's
honestly in Overwatch, when I was playing it heavy, I played it heavy until they got to that point where they named it Overwatch 2. I think that's where I dropped off. All I played was Lucio. If I was on your team, I'm playing Lucio. I don't care.
Oh, man. Lucio.
You can shoot. I'm like, I'm playing Lucio.
Lucio, I will. So the voice actor for Lucio was I went to GalaxyCon back in 2018. He was there.
Really?
It was 2018, 2019. He was there, and I didn't get a chance to see it. What also really bums me, Jason David Frank was there. He was at GalaxyCon in Minneapolis. I think it was Minneapolis. I know it was Minneapolis. I don't remember if it was 2018, 2019. But he was over there, and I didn't get a chance to see him, and now it bums the shit out of me because I wasn't able to.
Just busy? Or was he busy?
He was. Yeah, it was a lot of people, and if there's a big line, my ADHD tells me that.
Yeah, same. I'm like,
yeah, I'm all right. If I can get a chance to come creep in, that's what happened with Ben Starr. Was I fought a moment where there was nobody else there, and he was just kind of sitting and chilling, and so I just swarmed right in. I don't even swerve. I swarmed right in. It was just and so we had we had a whole conversation about pretty much the state of the world, and that was weird. But it was
damn,
it was interesting. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, when you're probably all you're talking about your characters for so long, eventually
bring up a different topic, and you just go.
It was really cool. But I did get a chance to at least at GalaxyCon, I did get the chance to talk to people was it Mallory Flanagan? I believe her name is the voice of Naruto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to talk to her. And at the time, it was the voice actress who played for voice of Boruto was there as well. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like it was really fun. But I'm usually there for the game side.
Yeah.
Like, I'm usually all that stuff for the game side.
I used to be heavy into the cons. I went to PAX back when it was X Prime or whatever they renamed it to. My early career, I was really wanting to be a game journalist. So I went to CES. I got into E3 a couple of times before they shut that shit down. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, like, and I'll probably do a story about that one day, but it was all about confidence. We had a little website. We were putting up articles weekly, but like we weren't like Joystick or Destructo, like those bigger sites.
Right.
But we applied. We're like, let's just apply and see what happens. And they approved us, and we're like, we get to go to E3. It was like the beginning of E3 was very, look at the booth babes and all this stuff. And then it got to a point where it was like, look at all these games. And that's where we got in. I got to see the announcement for Killer Instinct on Xbox, which for me is huge. I was in the state, like in Microsoft's conference, and they played the music, and I lost my shit. Like nobody around me did. Everybody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this?" I'm like, "No, this thing." And they showed the logo, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like,
I love the Killer Instinct, the 2013.
Yeah,
I used to say if I was a wrestler, that'd be my walk-down music. Like that was the most metal. Like, oh my gosh.
God. Shout out to my homie Chris Panda. He made a mashup of the Killer Instinct and is it Virgil from Devil May Cry? Somebody from one of the bosses. I didn't really play Devil May Cry, but he mixed those songs and it's the sickest. I'll have to find that because back when I used to stream a lot on Twitch, I would give everybody their own like sub sound, and that was his. So every time he came through, he'd play it. I'm like, just one more time. Just need to hear one more time. All right.
That does sound. Oh, that sounds. I can imagine it. Like the music will take a video game far. Like music will. Like it's the gameplay might not stick with you. The graphics might not, but that music will hit. There's only half the reason why Kingdom Hearts is as successful as it is.
Yeah, the music's great.
If your music ain't good,
I loved it. I love when you could play a song from a game and it just spins in all this nostalgia. Like any Mega Man song I hear from like 2 on, I'm lost. I'm like, all right.
Speaking of Mega Man, did you see that there is a new one coming?
Stop playing. No, I didn't.
There is another one. Yes, Capcom did unveil it at the Video Game Awards of another Mega Man.
Did not. Okay, I got some research to do.
Yeah, I had a really fun video. One of my latest ones I did where I had people like, I set a question up, like, pitch me a video game, like your favorite, any video game of whatever. And some of the answers are hilarious. A lot of the answers make me realize that nobody knows how to game design, but like,
right. Oh yeah.
But, it was one of them. This guy said I want a Metroidvania style game featuring like a combination between Mega Man and like Kirby 64, where he's like, it's still Mega Man, but you can combine powers like Kirby 64. And I was like, I don't think Mega Man can do that, can he? I don't think I've ever seen him combine. And I was like, imagine like you have like a black hole power and like, I don't know, black hole and like time stop.
Ooh.
You know?
What? Oh my God. Somebody make that game.
That's what I'm saying.
Indie developer, like that sounds fire, actually.
Yeah, and I was like, "There's so much," and I think it's what's fun is listening to the people who talk about it, and they get so excited.
Yes,
because gaming is so awesome for that. And I was like, I'm thinking of the art, like the music and everything inside my head when I'm listening to it and everything. Like I always say, like the one music that'll always get me fired up is anything of Mick Gordon. Especially like Doom Eternal has it with like the only thing they fear is you. And I was like, you guys don't need steroids. Listen to this music and you will be able to bench anything. Like
that is funny.
Like I will, like, it doesn't matter that if I get into like a street fight and that music starts playing,
it's over.
All I'm thinking is like rip and tear.
Yes.
And at that point that's it. Like, y'all are getting messed up.
I'm telling you, man, music is a powerful entity, and when using the right hands, it could do some amazing things.
It can. It is. It's the best part. It's the one that sticks with you afterwards.
Yeah.
Rather,
sure.
if it's the big hype moments, Dark Souls does this really well. Where whenever you go into a boss fight and you can hear that music start playing, you're like, oh, I'm about to get fucked up.
It's about to happen. Oh my
like
God.
especially that first time I played Elden Ring.
Yes,
and
love it.
The music of Radagon right at the end.
Yeah.
And when he shows up and America changes into Radagon and he blows up the ground with his mace.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah. He's like, we got to fight that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this is bad. And so, that music gets you up. Or I think another one that does really well. Sorry to ramble.
No, you're good.
It's Persona. Persona does this really well too.
I've not played this Persona yet.
They got some amazing music that come with it. Skyrim's another one. Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls series. Yeah. It's very ambient. Like I fall asleep to a lot of gaming music.
Yeah,
because it's just
same.
It's the ambiance. But I'm not gonna lie. It will always smile at any time when they start using like any kind of OSTs or even like individual non-licensed music or licensed music that starts hailing into the early 2000s. Whenever I see like any kind of like, like let's say Tony Hawk, go play a Tony Hawk 1 and you start hearing the music. Like I was playing remade that Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Yep.
And
Did they keep the same music?
Some of them, I believe so.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Superman by Goldfinger. And I'm just like, I just fell back in my seat and I was like, damn, like I felt like I was like 9 all over again playing this.
That is a video I want to make, like how I get introduced to a lot of music through Tony Hawk, BMX. Nobody played the BMX game, but I played the shit out of that. There was another one. All those, Guitar Hero, all these
Madden
games.
Madden is one.
Madden? Yes.
I get into so many music. That's all I learned about Avenged Sevenfold. Yep. I learned about Tech 9. Like I learned about
Madden. He was in Madden?
Madden 06. He had the song The Beast.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember now.
And that's why. And what's funny because when it comes to Madden, I don't play Madden much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to Madden, what I would do a lot is I would turn off every license track except for the NFL official ones because I wanted to feel like I was playing every ounce of football in there.
That's smart. That's cool. You know what? Shout out to Madden for allowing you to do that. In the last side tangent for me, I used to QA at Tiburon Studios in Orlando. So I worked on Madden 01, and my name's just in the credits. Like, it's crazy. Worst job ever. Like, after that, I never played another Madden game because it was 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Sometimes we had to come on Saturdays. Of me playing Madden in the most specific, like at first it's like just play a game of Madden. Like I have a QA teammate. We'd play a game of Madden. He beat my ass because he was really good. Oh, that's a bug. The ball did something weird. You had to recreate that bug. And then once you recreate it, you write your little ticket up, send it up. I heard the soundtrack to that game 40 billion times. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to play the Ravens ever again because he used to kick my ass with the Ravens. There was things in the game, like if you starting off, if you kicked the ball and you held left as you were kicking the ball, it would go to the end zone. Like physics didn't matter. Like it was just weird shit like that. And you have to recreate it. And then we got it to a point where it was like, all right, we can ship it now. But to see the process was dope. Like I was glad to see like how QA happens, but I would never. It's probably gotten better since then, but I'd never do a QA job again. It was.
I had another guy who was a QA tester, and it was interesting because that's one thing I wanted to bring up real quick. That's one thing I love about is the fact I was talking with another developer, and he was mentioning that there's a lot of developers who work in the industry and don't get the recognition. They're just part of the team. That's it, and and the whole time I think of when they talk about it in the NFL, they're like Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's just like, damn, okay.
Like, nobody get their names shout out? Wow.
Right. Like, and that's why I always think about too, is like, there is a lot like that who just don't get it. And that's why I like interviewing devs because of the fact that I kind of want to give them that chance for that voice from their perspective. I like that.
And you get some interesting stories out of like the behind the scenes. like the development and what went into different ideas and prospects, like that is a wealth of just entertainment and knowledge for like me. I love dev interviews. I love hearing that. I forgot who said there was I think it was No Clip. There was this one creator. He would do like a series on one game and go from the beginning of the end, the whole development. Like I enjoy seeing that stuff.
Yeah. No, I do too. And like, that's why, like, I love talking with devs. I talk with writers. Actually, one of the writers I talked to was one of the lead writers for the Division 1. And then also she did the lead writing for a game called Starlink.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about stuff.
Yeah, and Starlink dropped on Game Pass shortly after, so I got the chance to play it. And I like messaged her back and I was like, I fucking love this game.
That's so fire.
Like I was like, this game is so much fun. And I tell everyone, go and try it. Like it got looked over.
Yeah.
It came out in 2017, I believe. So towards the end of the PS4 life cycle.
Yeah.
But it is a fun game. It's a game that I think that if it was made in like the early to mid 2000s, it would have been a TV show. And that's why I love those.
That's fire.
I love it because I'm a sucker for the Saturday morning cartoon feel still again.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
If you go on YouTube and look, and you can see like people talk about Toonami.
Yes.
And there's still, if you look on there, there's still Toonami, like Toonami Rising Sun. So the Saturday morning ones. Toonami.
Are you serious?
Yes, there's a site. I will send you a link to where the site is. Yes, that it still does the Toonami one. And these are the old ones, like Dot Hack.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was like,
yeah, I need to see that.
All I heard was Spirit Gun. And I was just like, my ears just shot up and I'm like, I'm not even a big Yu Yu Hakusho fan, but like I looked and I was like, holy shit. And it's like, yeah, it's like the guy, the guy's voice was like Toonami, and this like, and I loved it. And it's so cool. So they actually did, they still have them up. You can go still find them. And I told my wife that one of the things I want to do when my kid gets older is we're going to have Saturday morning cartoon days.
Oh my God. That's
from
fire.
6 to 11. I'm going to get different ones. There's going to be different ones every time. Some of them might be different mix and matches. It might be, one might be, every time we might be doing Jackie Chan Adventures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sonic X, Beyblades, Digimon, all of them. And then we're just going to watch them like a Saturday morning. And then I'm going to do my own version of Toonami on Saturday nights. Obviously, only if they behave. Obviously, they ain't doing good. You ain't getting it.
Right.
And the one thing what we're doing, and I'm going to make my kid do this. I just told my wife, I'm going to make my kid do this. We're watching the Goku versus Frieza fight on Saturday every single day.
How long did that thing take?
4 hours. I sat and I watched the entire thing.
That's wild.
Yes.
That is wild. That's going to be fun, man.
So I have a lot of, I'm like off the screen. I have a lot of fun stuff like that. We're going to do.
Hell yeah. That, you know what? That's fire. I like that idea a lot. As soon as you said that, my brain was like, ooh, you can spin up like a Plex server and like build his own channels. And I was like, all right, let me stop. I'm not trying to make my networking anymore. I used to work in IT, so my brain hears computer stuff and I immediately like think of solutions for it. I'm like, no, stop. You're not doing this.
I feel that. I love that.
Man. Well, Afro, thank you for doing this episode. I could talk like this for the next hour, but I want to respect your time and I got to go check on my little ones. They do virtual school, so I'm the principal basically. I'm like, hey, get your work done.
Before I forget, is that the Infinity Gauntlet you wear?
Yes,
I thought so.
Yes, it is. There's one back there too. You can't see because it's blurred out.
I can see it. It's I can see it.
Well, I got a Magneto helmet. I got a Kryptonite. I got the Black Panther one. I like nerdy shit, and I like when you can like dress it up and like this is be presentable if I had to go somewhere. But the people who know, they know. They're like, oh, that's an Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
That is fire. Again, thank you for doing this. Everybody, if you haven't already shared this episode or the podcast with another fellow creator, we do this every week. Sometimes it's just me talking about mindset stuff. Other times it's me geeking out with a fellow creator like AfrofishOG. Share the podcast with them. We're up every week. Afro, thank you again. I do invite people back on to do like panel situations. I feel like you would be perfect for that. So awesome. If I ever think of something, I'm going to shoot an idea your way. Like, hey, you want to talk about this with like 3 other people? And then we'll get it done.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, other than that, I appreciate y'all. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.